Hello friends, do you know which bird is in the background? That's right my friends, it's a crow. Did you know that crows are smart birds? You might have heard the story of a thirsty crow. The crow dropped pebbles into a pot of water to raise the water level so it could drink. Such a wise crow. Now, this story teaches us some science too. With each pebble dropped into the water level increased. Something similar happened with the Greek scientist Archimedes. Once, Hieron II, the soon-to-be king of Greece, asked Archimedes to determine whether the crown he was to wear during his coronation was made of pure gold. Archimedes pondered this problem, and while taking his daily bath, he noticed something interesting. As he lowered himself into the tub full of water, the water was displaced. Amazed by this observation, he immediately realized that he had found the answer to the king's question. Excited, he ran through the streets shouting, "Eureka! Eureka!" Eureka means, "I have found it." But what exactly did this mean? How did Archimedes figure out the solution simply by noticing the displaced water in his bath? Well, the key lies in how objects displace water when immersed. To solve the king's problem, Archimedes took a lump of gold weighing the same as the crown and placed it in a vessel filled with water. The gold displayed certain amount of water which he measured. Next, he refilled the vessel and placed a lump of silver, also weighing the same as the crown, into the water. Again the water was displaced, but this time more water spilled out of the vessel because silver, although having the same weight, is less dense but has more volume than gold. The purpose of Archimedes' experiment was to compare the amount of water displaced by different materials, gold and silver, of the same weight to determine whether the crown was pure gold or a mixture of metals. Finally, Archimedes refilled the vessel and placed the original crown in the water. If the crown were made of pure gold, the amount of water displaced should have been the same as that displaced by the lump of gold. However, if the crown displaced more water, it would indicate that it was not made of pure gold but contained a lighter metal like silver. And this is exactly what happened. The crown displaced more water, proving that the goldsmith had cheated the king by mixing other metal into the crown. Isn't that genius? A simple daily observation helped Archimedes find a solution to a difficult problem. This discovery became known as Archimedes Principle, which states that when an object is fully or partially immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. That is, upward force is equals to weight of displaced fluid. The Archimedes principle can be expressed mathematically as F is equals to rho into Vg. Here Fb is the buoyant force, which is the upward force experienced by the object. Rho F is the density of the fluid, which is the water used. V is the volume of water that's displaced, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. This relationship helps us understand how objects behave when placed in fluids. This principle is used in designing ships and submarines. Lactometers used to determine the purity of milk and hydrometers used to measure the density of liquids also work on this principle. I hope you enjoyed this short story and explanation of Archimedes Principle. Keep following us for more such interesting videos. Until then, goodbye and keep learning.